Starting guard number 2, Finn Teasdale. Forward, Aiden Lear, number 7. Out forward, number 5, Mickey Joseph. Out center, correction, Mikey Joseph. Out center, number 15, Chuck Nimoy. Assistant coaches, Tracy Cruz, Singh Sally, Johnny Marriage, and Doug Beers. Head coach, Merv Margetti.
Main event. We got two heavyweights going toe to toe. We've got the home team ranked number 4 in the province playing against the Vancouver College Fighting Irish ranked number 3. The last time these two teams met at Alumni Gym, VC took down Saints 76-73. But let me tell you, Brian Lee, my fellow analyst tonight, the big story, Vancouver College without Mikhail Nalibok and Rocco Maric, who combined in that game for 31 points. That's 40% of their offensive production. My question for you, Brian Lee, tell me, how is this game going to be different, and how is this game going to be the same?
Well, let me tell you something, Paul. I'll start with what's going to be the same. What we're going to see tonight is the energy. What we're going to see tonight is a camaraderie amongst each other to make sure they walk away with a W. And both teams know that they'll leave nothing on this court tonight. That's what's going to be the same. But I tell you, you mentioned it earlier on, not having about 40% of their offensive production and just even having the presence in the middle is going to change things for Vancouver College.
Will Highland opening the scoring for the St. George's Saints. I have to tell you, Brian, I thought I was expecting a little bit more out of him last game. He had 9 points. He was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. But let me tell you, last time in this gym, Will Highland put up 20 points. I'm expecting we're going to see a big game out of him tonight.
Yeah, and he knows it's his last VC Saints series as well, and he's going to bring everything he's got. He is coming off of an injury, and he's still playing injured with his wrist, as you'll see tied up on his right hand. So his shooting has not been as proficient as what we've seen in the past. But, hey, he'll bring what he's got tonight for sure.
As you can probably hear the viewers at home, this is a jam-packed gymnasium, and it is loud, and it's probably going to get even louder in here. How about that three from Vancouver College? Number 2, Finn Tisdale.
They've gotten off to an early start right away, but we know it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And they've got to be a little bit more composed on the offensive end because they look like they're rushing things, but that's what energy does for you.
And if you're not familiar with Josh Coleman, number 11 for the Saints, multi-sport athlete, soccer player, volleyball, and just coming off in the Tri-Prov tournament with a first-team All-Star. Coach Guy Da Silva tells me Josh Coleman, number 11, playing his best basketball of the season so far. And hey, I know, Brian, we talked earlier this week, and I said, who else is going to come up big for Vancouver College? You said, without a doubt, Aiden Lear. What does he do right there? Puts up another 2 points. Nice shot from the outside for Aiden Lear.
Yeah, Aiden Lear is great at stretching out the defense. He can hit the 3-ball. He scores on all 3 levels as well. And in the absence of a Mikhail and in the absence of a Rocco, he's really stepped up. And he had a big tournament last weekend in Kelowna. So look for big things for him tonight. Aiden Lear.
Absolutely. Again, we've talked about this in the past. What sort of advantage is there for the home team? Looking back at the last 10 regular season meetings between these two teams going back to 2017, the home team has won all the games except one. So there definitely is that home court advantage.
Oh, most definitely. And I think we saw that a little bit earlier on today in some of the prelim games to this, in that Vancouver College won all but one of the games last weekend, and they came back and made it a lot more competitive this weekend here at home at St. George's.
Absolutely. Actually, coming into this game, Vancouver College was on a 15-game winning streak, only to be snapped by the Semiahmoo Totems, ranked number 1 in the province, even though they did beat them earlier in the season. We did talk about how this game would be similar and how it would be different. I wasn't able to watch the game live, but I don't recall VC with their full court pressure early in the game. Is that something that they did, do you recall? Because they've come out here high energy on defense. We're expecting this could be maybe a high scoring affair.
Well, again, because they're limited in terms of their roster, I would suspect that they'll be strategic at when they put on their press. And I wouldn't be surprised, although they are a man-to-man team, I would not be surprised if you see a little bit of zone here, depending on how close the game is. So they'll mix it up a little bit.
This is going to be another key player for tonight. Number 13 for the Saints, Isaac Brown. But for our viewers tonight, we're going to be referring to number 13 as ISO.
Let me tell you, ISO has been huge for St. George's this year. He's averaging about 20 to 22 points a game. Anytime he gets into the paint, he's relentless and he's tough to stop. You know, people have used analogies around who he reminds them of, and Kawhi Leonard is a name that has come up in the past because he is so strong. They call him bull strong. And once he gets in that paint and he gets his balance, he's tough to stop.
You call ISO bull strong, I'm going to call him a hustle and a muscle kind of guy. Let me tell you, last time we played these two teams in Dixon Gym, good old ISO put up 28. Coach De Silva calling for a block. Perhaps we might see a replay, get another look at that. Here we go. Coming down the court, Josh Coleman.
Oh, I don't know if he was set. I don't know if he was set on that one.
All right, well, we're nutted here at 10 apiece. A great start, good energy in the game. Aiden Lear hustling on the boards, and there's ISO. You got to say he plays a lot bigger than he is. And look at the way he can finish with the left hand. That is going to be another beauty. How about that body control?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Here it is. Let's take another look.
If they don't do a good job in keeping ISO out of the paint, what you're seeing right now will be something repeated over and over and over.
Well, into the game, Freddie Sale for Vancouver College. We will have to get up to speed on the foul count. Things that are off to quite a quick pace here, losing track of who's picked up the fouls to start. Nonetheless, for an and one, ISO at the line, misses. Chuck Menard with the board, the big fella. And here we go, Will Highland showing some energy early, and ISO on the break. Back and forth these two teams go. We'll wonder at this pace if they can keep this up.
Yeah, you can see that both teams are playing on high adrenaline right now. It's pretty much a track meet going back and forth, and I'd like to see St. George's slow things down a little bit and be more intentional in some of their offensive attacks. Right now, everything's about transition.
Yeah, and I think, it's interesting getting to the line. You know how important that stat is those free throw attempts. Last game, VC 6 for 12 from the line, only 50%. St. George's, on the other hand, 18 for 21, 85%. So we're going to see if that stat is going to change over the course of this game and how they compare.
Yeah. There's Aiden Lear. I think he's got 5 so far. And, again, he's going to be important for them on the offensive end, and he'll help recuperate some of those points missing from the 2 injured players in McCall and Rocco.
Number 5 into the game, Hayden Rogers for St. George's. I know Coach De Silva is looking for Dom Aquino, number 1, handles the ball for Saints to maybe be a little bit more of a factor on offense.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering here with Will Highland, he's really going quite hard, whether or not he's playing within himself at the moment here, trying to maybe do a little too much early. Yeah,
again, it's that excitement of the game, right? There's ISO. He got fouled as well. Look at that finish. Good defense. Good defense.
Isaiah Bias is going to be someone who you also watch for the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, he does a great job on playing on both ends of the court, on the offensive and the defensive end. There's Will Highland.
There we go. Very high tempo game here. Coming into the game for the Irish, Vince Velasquez. I think maybe Coach Margetti's looking for someone to settle things down. Oh, another early sub here also coming in for Saints. Number 21, Kevin Jong.
That's a tough 2-foot jump hook in the middle by Freddie Sale.
I'm thinking both coaches are probably recognizing the pace of the game and going to the bench quite early here. Oh, Isaiah Bias with a deep, deep, deep 3. Back and forth these teams go.
Yeah, they're Neither team is looking to use any time off that shot clock. I think every shot in the last, since we started the game, has been within the first 15 seconds of the shot clock.
The last two teams, that last time these two teams played, they actually put up the second most points they've seen in history of this game. And looking back to 2017, 186 points scored in that game. BC took down Saints 98-88. And I have a feeling we're going to have a real high-scoring affair here.
Well, at this clip right now, you're looking at in the first quarter, both teams are going to put up at least 20.
Oh, they got to reset. Kevin's.
You know, the other interesting thing about this game, if you take a look on the court right now, you don't see anyone over 6'2". So you've got a lot of guards out there playing. So the pace of this game is going to reflect that to a certain extent. Not a lot of points being scored with post touches, certainly on penetration.
Absolutely. You can see they got a mismatch underneath. Chuck Menard trying to post up Dom. Definitely he'll have the mismatch there. Traveling.
Yeah, that's a good call. Good call. All right, now the pace has slowed down a little bit. We'll see what happens. We'll see what intentional look they get at this point.
Saints really likes to run a 5-out or 4-round one with lots of cutting and penetration. There you go. Going to the line again.
If you recall,
fouls on number 16 for Vancouver College, Chuck Menard. He only had 2 points in the last game, but they're taking him out now. But I'm expecting him, he might be a factor in this game. He actually just signed on, committed to U of T for football as a defensive lineman. He actually led the province this year with 16 sacks.
you can see the physicality that Vancouver College is playing at. They got a lot of football guys on the court right now, and they're absolutely tenacious. They win loose balls, but they are foul prone, and that's going to be interesting to see how this accumulates through the course of the game.
Yeah, it's 3 team fouls.
Now, the one guy that they can't have get in foul trouble is Isaiah Baez. I mean, he does play both ways for them. You saw him knock down a 3 not too long ago. He is an outstanding defender, high energy, and he's the one that they're looking for to help fill up the points on the offensive end.
Coach De Silva with a timeout. Wow, this is a lightning start here. It's wonderful to see all the fans back in the gym after the COVID hiatus. This was definitely the hottest ticket in town around our school this week. There were all types of calls, all types of texts, Instagram requests. No donuts were offered, no cinnamon buns, no handwritten notes. And I know Miss Chris Blackman, our head of athletics, not an easy job figuring out who gets tickets and who doesn't.
Oh, not at all. And you know what? I'd like to pay a little bit of shout out to Chris Blackman and team, Christine Lee as well. I mean, it goes, the amount of time that they put into making this event as special as it is amazing. So thank you all for what you're doing. This is wonderful. I think the best thing we've always had going for us is having Vancouver College as a crosstown rival, because they bring out the very best in us as well. So this is amazing. And this might be the most electric and exciting crowd that any of these kids play in front of. So it's a real special moment. And the energy to make it special is certainly put out there.
It's definitely one of the highlight events of the year, not only for the players themselves, but even alumni And there he is, Charlie McConville. Chucky with a 3. That's what he's going to bring coming in off the bench. He's probably not going to beat you off the dribble, but he's going to be able to spot up quite nicely.
Well, that's a contribution that you want to be able to see, isn't it? You want to see these guys come off the bench, take some pressure off of some of their top guns, and Charlie certainly did that.
Okay, the pace continues right back at them. That's Kevin Jong with a foul. We're seeing a few faces in the game early on that we did not see in the first game that these two teams played. And just to let you know what's at stake here, we are looking to determine who is going to be the #1 seed in the Sea to Sky Zone tournament. For the Independent League, it comes down to this 2-game series. VC defeated Saints by 3 the last game, so in order for St. George's to go through as the #1 seed, they are going to have to beat VC tonight by 4 points. Anything less, 3 or less, and as a matter of fact, if they beat them by 3, I'm not exactly sure what the scenario is, but anything less than 3, and it's VC with the #1 seed going into the Sea to Sky Zone Championships.
Yeah, and just looking at the teams that are lined up, I mean, you would suspect that both these teams, being currently 2 and 4, are the teams that are going to move on to the BCs.
Yes, very, very, very interesting that you would say that, because you're not the first person that's mentioned that to me recently, and I would definitely concur. As a matter of fact, you might even see these two teams in the final of the Sea to Sky Zone Championship. That game is going to be held on February 25th. That's a Saturday at Notre Dame Secondary School. They'll be hosting all 4 of the championships there for the Sea to Sky Zone, Single A, Double A, Triple A, and Quad A.
Great defense. I'll tell you what, both teams are playing outstanding defense. Every shot is highly contested on both ends. And that, again, that is tribute to that energy that we see these kids playing at. And you're right about Will Highland. He looks like he's trying to do a little bit more at this stage, trying to get things going. That's his sweet spot.
Obviously, Will Highland's got a special ear to the mic and heard you speaking and said, okay, let me just do my thing.
He is a fabulous three-point shooter. He stretches out the defense, and I think when he calms down a little bit and lets the game come to him, he's going to find more and more of those opportunities. It's a great rebound by McConville. Oh,
center.
He's giving them some quality minutes coming off the bench. I'm sure Coach De Silva is going to be happy with that.
Well, here we have it. At the end of the first, Saints is up 7, 27-20. Kind of interesting. I was talking to a few people this week looking for some predictions on the game. I was able to be in touch with Ryan Shams at VC, the junior boys coach there. He thought VC was going to take it by 11. I obviously had to get someone from Saints to give me their view on the game. Tim Sorrell thought St. George's by 7. And then I reached out to Asher Mahan. He is the man behind basketball metrics in the province. If you're able to look it up online, B-ball metrics, you'll see all his stats, RPI, you name it. And he has this game as even. And funny enough, you look at the stats, St. George is averaging 81 points per game, VC 83 points per game. Both teams giving up, on average, 67 points each on defense. So very closely matched by the numbers, that is, Coach.
Well, let me tell you, the hardest thing to do in sport, as we know, is what? Win when you're supposed to win. And you take a look at the teams here that are usually ranked higher, whether they're home or away, that's a tough team to beat, right? They're reading news clips, they're seeing what's happening, and that gives them extra incentive.
Okay, looks like maybe St. George is going to a zone here. Probably call that a 3-2. From the corner, Tisdale missing the 3.
That's a good changeup by Coach De Silva. We'll see how that impacts Vancouver College on the offensive end. Good drift pass by Will. Will gets it back. Oh, turns it over.
Bit of an errant cross-court pass. That's Velasquez with the steal.
Now let me tell you something. Isaac Brown leads this team in charges.
And you're going to see it right here on video right now.
Great position, and I'll tell you, you have to be alert. He's averaging about two charges a game. And again, he's always thinking when he's out there. And he's got quick enough feet to be able to get there, cut his man off, and draw that charge. Well done.
And not afraid to sacrifice his body. Tough as nails, my friend, tough as nails. Good ball movement by St. George's. Isaiah Bias. Good D, but Dom was able to get by with a little bit of a floater. St. George's staying in the zone here. Saints up 29-20. That being said, I'm going to say no lead is safe when these two teams are playing.
There's Charles Menard with that extra hustle that we talked about.
Coming back into the game, Josh Coleman for St. George's, and number 7, Aiden Lear, going to check back in as well.
That's a nice kick out by Will.
And the board in the left hand, Isaac Brown.
That zone is giving Vancouver College a lot of troubles right now, and I think one of the reasons why, when they play that 1-2, the 1-2-2 matchup at the top, it takes away the penetration angles. And someone like Isaiah Bias loves to get to the rack in that penetration, and I think that's hurting them a little bit. They just need to settle down, and without the inside presence, getting high post touches and the short corner touches is going to give them some troubles. They've got to figure that piece out.
That's another foul on Isaiah Bias, and obviously Coach Brigetti here for the Fighting Irish calling a timeout. Is going to have to make some adjustments here how they're going to attack the zone.
It wouldn't surprise me if Coach Da Silva comes back out and goes to man for 1 or 2 possessions, because you know right now in that timeout they're sitting there trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do against the zone? They're going to try to get some high post touches. They're going to get short corner. They got to get some penetration, but it's got to come off the baseline, because when you got that 1-2-2, they're most vulnerable in the corners, and I think they need to exploit that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting what Guy comes out with at the second and out of this timeout.
You gotta love the old cat and mouse game when you're coaching here. As you say, him coming out, switching to a man-to-man, be very interesting. I know Saints went to the zone late in the second half. In the last game they played, they were down 17 at that point, and once they put that zone in the game changed automatically. And as you mentioned, what they were doing was they were able to get the ball inside, and they were getting open looks in the corner because they weren't getting that rotation.
You got it. You got it.
St. George's always likes to come out, not always, but they like that 1-4 low set on their inbounds entry, and just slicing through the D. Will Highland, second effort, and wow, pretty hard to beat hustle.
Yeah, it does. It does. And again, Vancouver College is very thin on the interior, so if they continue to get into the paint, whether it's through a pass touch or a penetration, it's going to cause some problems for Vancouver College.
And Finn Tisdale again with another 3. He's come in and made an impact for this Fighting Irish team. Isaac Brown calling for a foul there, but didn't get it. Back and forth we go. Bit of a scrappy game still here.
There's Will.
He definitely feels it from that spot. He hit his last one there, and I'm sure you're going to see him unload from there before. Velasquez.
He's starting to get hot. They got to think about if they get another 3 in that zone, they need to change up.
Yeah, he played with a lot of energy that last game. So that's 2 threes I think they've hit the last 2 possessions for Vancouver College.
Yep.
So Coach Da Silva's definitely thinking about it right now, but I think he's going to have faith in his guys to maybe weather another penetration.
Great look by a great point guard in Dominic Aquino. Dominic is one of those point guards I'd say somewhat underrated. He hasn't played summer league basketball in the last couple of years, so on a circuit, not a lot of folks are talking about him. But I tell you, you take a look at what he brings to the game. Very composed with the basketball, sees the floor unbelievably well, shoots the ball well. I'd like to see him shoot the ball a lot more than he shoots it right now, but that last play was indicative of his ability to find his teammates.
Freddie Sale into the game for number 13, Chuck Menard. Looking around the gym tonight, usually one of the fixtures here is Kevin Hansen. He loves this game, loves the rivalry, but tonight his University of British Columbia Thunderbirds are taking on the number 2 ranked Victoria, the Vikes from Victoria, after losing to them on Thursday night.
Yeah, he'd want to be here. He loves supporting high school basketball, particularly when these two teams match up. And I'll tell you what, the players know when he's in the crowd.
Absolutely. Well, some people might not know this, but he's got a little bit of a pipeline to St. George's and Vancouver College. I look back to the roster the last 23 years, and only 7 of those years has there not been representation from St. George's or Vancouver College. So he does have a vested interest, and I actually talked to him this week, and I asked him if he was looking at any players in particular, and he did say he did have his eyes on a few. So he is considering some. He preferred not to tell me who, which was fine. I didn't want to twist his arm too hard.
You can see now every time that Isaac touches the basketball, they clog the middle, trying to keep him out.
BC seems to be doing a little bit better job with their transition here. Getting down the court, and they're getting these open looks. Tisdale's feeling hot right now. As a quarterback, he's probably got blood, cold blood in that veins. He can handle the pressure, no problem.
Look, Tisdale is an outstanding shooter. He's one of those guys, I know football is his sport, but he's one of those guys that if he dedicated his time to playing basketball, he would be a heck of a player and a next level player for sure.
Well, Brian Chu, when I asked him a little bit about him, he mentioned that he's got great feet and he's a student of the game. So that tells you something. He's probably coming into this game right now and he's saying, what's my role? And that's his role right there. I'm going to spot up. I'm not going to do anything more beyond. And now look what happened here. BC shot themselves right back into the game.
Yeah, and he's shot ready. Right, he's shot ready the last few times. Here's the other thing about Tisdale. You watch him play defense. He is absolutely ferocious on the defensive end. Gets great position, and he doesn't use his hands a lot. He moves his feet, and his physicality allows him to bump the cutters and take them off their course. Another very good two-way player for him. It's interesting, in the absence of Mikhail, you see guys stepping up. You see Aiden Lanier, you see Tisdale. They might be a bit more balanced in that essence.
Absolutely. Oh, he went down hard. Isaac Brown went down hard from behind there. Tisdale, again, not afraid to use his body. Saints again will set up in a 1-4 load inbound. We can get a look here on the replay, perhaps.
They're going to throw it up to ISO. Look, you can see that. You can see that one brewing. All they got to do for someone like him, if he's got someone his height, just throw it up. He'll go get it. One of the things that we've noticed too, Paul, is that the referees have done an outstanding job.
Absolutely. And they don't mess around when they assign the crew. Tonight we got, can you believe it, Brian Lee. We've got Lee Bryan on one whistle, Cam Omo and Philip Wong. Both all these officials ref at the college level, and 2 of them ref at Canada West. So these are definitely an experienced crew.
Well, they know the energy and the excitement that's brought to this game year after year, so they ensure that we get top shelf refs to do these games. And they've done a great job in taking command of this as well.
I'm not sure if the viewers at home can pick up on this, but they're actually wearing pink whistles tonight, part of the Pink Whistle campaign Karn Dillon is the founder of that, longtime official. Many basketball fans will know him. If you do get a chance out there, you want to bring and support that awareness to cancer, you can just Google Pink Whistle Basketball BC, and you'll be able to see the link there for which you can donate if that's something that you'd like to do to support that campaign.
A wide open look too. This is where Dom has got to assert himself a little bit more on the offensive end. He's got the capacity to do that. And there you go. Look at that look.
His ability to get that penetration. And just so you get a little perspective of that matchup between Dom and Velasquez, number 3. Velasquez was the defensive player of the tournament at the BCs last year, of which VC took home the championship, coached by Ryan Shams.
I thought they had a jump ball on that, but I guess it got overruled.
Okay, so that's 5 team fouls, it looks like here for VC. So that's going to be double bonus for Saints for the next 3 minutes and 49 seconds.
That's crucial. That's crucial. Isaac is very strong from the free throw line.
He was 4 for 6 in the last game, so he continues to shoot the ball well here.
Now, as you can see, they've gone back to man, and they've got to put a special eye on Tisdale. Isaiah Bias might be in foul trouble because I'm surprised he's been out for this long.
Here they go, and that's what number 21 for the Saints is going to do. He's going to get you some boards. He needs to keep it simple. And there's Isaac just slicing and dicing, my friend. You're going to see a lot of the pick and roll on the wing for Vancouver College. One of the things De Silva said after that last game is he wanted his boys to play fearless. He wanted them to attack. He felt that maybe near the end of the game, last game, that they were playing a little bit tentative in some regards. And to see Charlie McConville here coming down the court and going right at them, allowing him to play fearless. He's going to the line.
Well, the foul count is certainly not in favor of Vancouver College, and I think every possession going down, I would go right at him. Conville giving us some really good minutes coming off the bench. Well done.
Yeah.
And, you know, in the absence, too, I mean, we've talked a lot about the injuries that we've had for Vancouver College, and, you know, there's been some players on St. George's that have been injured, you know, and have not been able to contribute. And they're key players as well. And Robert Orr, his ability to shoot the basketball from the perimeter and give them some presence inside, missing that has caused him to make some adjustments. And, of course, Keaton O'Kennedy, who is also uber athletic and talented on both ends, not having him as well hurts.
So Kevin Jong, number 21's come in, and he's been able to get the last few boards for the team, which is a nice contribution. Number 10, Blake Wardell, checking in for the Saints. Another board for Kevin.
ISO for 3. Look
there
at that. Well, would you say he's kind of hot today? Paul, what are your thoughts? Does that classify as being hot?
Can I say on fire? Let me tell you, fun to watch, a lot of energy. De Silva going to the bench again. Here comes Bill Zhang coming in.
Now, Dominic in his hole, he's looking for his teammate. Look at that, look at that.
Ooh, wow, okay. St. George's just on a 10-0 run here. The fans are going wild. St. George's fans loud and proud at the moment.
They're starting to wear them down a little bit. You notice that the energy level from Vancouver College is subsiding somewhat, and it seems to be bolstering on the St. George's side. And of course, fueled by Isaac Brown. I mean, it shows his versatility to be able to step out, knock down that 3 in transition. He gets wherever he wants in transition, and anytime he touches the ball in the paint, you know that he's going to get a good look. So he's fueled by that, but I can't say enough by the contributions from those coming off the bench. McConville's doing a terrific job. Will Highland's been a little bit quiet, but when you've got everybody else stepping up, I think it makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's the beauty, obviously, of a team sport. Guys can rise to the occasion, and if everybody has different roles to play, they know when the game comes to them when they have to perform. I'm wondering what Coach Margetti here has got in store coming out of the timeout, how she's going to try to slow these Saints down at the moment here. Right now, I'm hearing from the scores table, Isaac Brown has 20 points in the first half.
With 2 minutes left, I mean, that's pretty impressive, and he's not done yet.
Saints with a steal. That being said, even with a 10-point lead, I'm definitely not counting out the Fighting Irish. This game can turn on a dime, in my opinion. That being said, the momentum right now is fully in favor of St. George's.
Gotta love that hustle. Gotta love that hustle.
Number 10, Blake Wardell, coming right into the scorer's table.
Do you think Blake Wardell knows that this is his final game here in the VC Saints series?
Absolutely. This is a big time opportunity for these grade 12s for sure. On both sides, for both teams, of course.
The referees allowing them to play a little bit. You notice that, the contact? But they're very, very consistent with that, so that's all good. They're letting them play both ways.
I agree. It is fun when the boys can play, as long as, like you say, it's consistent both ways. And I think both coaches recognize that. One of the things that you can always see with Coach De Silva's team is crunch time. He's very good with his teams at crunch time, and I imagine what's happened here is he's called the timeout. He wants to frame the situation here to finish off the quarter. A minute and 15 to go. He realizes his team's up 11. He doesn't want to have a lapse. A couple possession laps here, a 3 here, 2 points here. That lead could easily be cut to 6 points, and now it's a different story. So I think he recognizes that. He gives his guys a chance to get a bit of a blow. He wants to diagram what he wants to do, come out on an end play here, and then also talk about how he's going to handle it on the defensive end of the court.
Yeah, Coach De Silva has been coaching at the varsity level here for about 13 years. And, you know, he's not foreign to these situations, and he knows that 11-point lead is not a safe lead. They know that. He knows they're in foul trouble, and they're probably going to take it right at him inside. Look for a first touch right here. Screen, when they run this 1-4, they do a screener action. He comes across.
Well, they got the open look, and I think that's the thing as a coach. You would know, if you're coming out of a timeout, you want to make sure that you get an open look. The worst thing possible would be a turnover out of a timeout. And he definitely got the look he wanted there. Blake Wardell underneath, just wasn't able to finish. Isaiah Spies back in the game. I'm sure Coach Margetti's hoping he's not going to pick up another foul. And there's a turnover.
Yeah, Coach De Silva won't be too happy about that. They don't need to have a quick basket right away. They just need to get the look that they want.
Another offensive board. Isaiah Spies.
That's a good one more.
And you know, those balls roll out like that, you miss those little bunnies, and that's also a little bit deflating for you when it comes to energy on the court. Now we got Isaiah guarding him quite high.
Looks like they're looking for the last shot. There's a 1 second difference between the shot clock and the score and the game clock. That's another nice look. His teammates move so well when he's got the basketball in their hands because they know he's going to deliver.
Well, 50-37 St. George's. quite an opening half for the home team, the Saints. So I think what we need to do is we need to get ourselves, catch a breath, check out the stats, and just announcing the MEI marching band coming into the gym. So we'll sign off and let the viewers take a look.
All right. Check.
First time? I felt flustered. I had stuff in my mind. I've had a wrong piece of paper. You know what? I'm flustered. Okay, I think we're back on here. We just had the opportunity to see the MEI marching band. And now what they've done is they've put an extra 5 minutes on the clock, allow these teams a chance to warm up. Right now there's actually only a minute and a half to go. So I just thought what I would do here alongside Brian Lee is just recap what we had in the first quarter for the Saints. Leading the way, Isaac Brown with 20 points, 0 fouls. We know he's had foul trouble this year, so that's a key stat for us. Will Highland, 9 points, 2 fouls. Josh Coleman, 6 points, 3 fouls. Blake Wardell, 4 points, 2 fouls. And Don McKeno with 6 points. And for Vancouver College, leading the way, Finn Tisdale, 13 points. Isaiah Bias with 6 with 2 fouls, mind you. Mikey Joseph, 1 point and 2 fouls. Vince Velasquez, 6 points and 2 fouls. And Aiden Lear with 5 points, but no fouls to show. And Charles Menard, 1 foul and 2 points. So that sort of frames the scenario of what we have right now, Brian.
You know, we take a look at the score, 50-37. St. George's is on track to scoring 100+ in this second half. And that's going to be something that Vancouver College is going to have to figure out. They got to get them out of the paint. I mean, most of the baskets that they've scored have been in the paint, either through penetration, a few post touches on the intentional entry, but they've got to figure that out. The other thing that they got to do is they got to knock down their shots on the other end. They've had a lot of bunnies, a lot of open shots, high percentage shots in the paint that they did not capitalize on, so they're going to have to bring that to another level. And the last thing that I think they're going to have to do if they want to get back into this is they have to make sure they slow down the game a little bit. St. George's is absolutely taking it to them in transition. They got to get back on D, and they got to make them play half-court basketball. But we know this, the most important part of any basketball game is the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. And let's just say now, let's say 0-0, and we'll take a look at who wins this first 5 minutes.
And as we said earlier, in this last game, St. George's was down 17 in the third quarter, and they got it within 1 at the end of the game. So I'm confident that can go both ways. And Vancouver College is not going to roll over and die by any means. There's Chuck Menard want to make a presence early, taking a defensive board. Obviously, Murr and her coaching staff want to have the Irish come out and start strong, get a good bucket early. Menard again getting the hand on the ball. Likes to play physical and definitely very active to start the second half.
They did a better job there in getting back on defense on there. And you can see Will Holland, his ability to handle the basketball with that wrist is not at the same level. Lost it in an easy opportunity to get a quick 2.
Still not 100% that wrist, but definitely battling it out. And we're going to have to watch the foul count. And this half, got a few guys playing with 2 fouls, and we'll see what the coaches do. They do pick up their third foul.
Good look by Isaiah Bias to Aiden Lear. Oh, shoots with confidence.
Mikey Joseph giving his team a little bit of a spark here. But one thing is for sure, they're not going to be able just to trade baskets and survive. In order for Vancouver College to make a run, they're going to have to get some stops. And again, Chuck Menard, hand on the ball. He's getting touches left, right, and center.
Yeah, they got Aiden Lear, I believe, with a push.
That's picking up his first, so he's in good stead with only 1 foul right now.
Now this is where Vancouver College has got to slow the game down and make sure they keep them out of the paint. And I think the extent to which they have success with that will determine, in great part, the end of this game.
Oh, there's the and one that you were calling for earlier, Brian.
Yeah.
We'll probably see a replay on that right here in a second.
Josh Coleman, again, a bit of an unsung hero. He's been playing his best basketball of the season over the last 2-3 weeks, and they need that. With the guys that have been absent from this team, he's certainly stepping up as a senior, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think he always gets the credit he deserves. He's kind of in a sense in the background, but you can see how well he moves on the court, showing his athleticism. Looked like a bit of a travel there. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting because Isaiah oftentimes takes that extra step before he puts the ball on the ground, but he continues to get away with it. So I guess you keep doing it until they call you on it, right?
I would imagine that would be the way to go. Once again, these officials are doing a great job, and I think we're pretty fortunate to have such a good crew working the game tonight.
You know, Aiden wants to shoot that three, but they're doing a good job of taking it away. Chuck Menard with that. He's actually pretty good at hitting that mid-range, and hasn't hit it much today, but certainly something that he's done in the past.
Yeah, we're hoping that we're not going to see any condensation on the floor. We have seen it in the past in this gym, but they've done a good job of keeping this gym quite cool today and not allowing that condensation to hit the floor. That's a big, big screen there. Chuck Menard on Don McKeno. Coach Guy De Silva thought he might get a call.
Yeah, I think Chuck thought he was on the football field there, and he does that quite well, as we know.
Yeah, he's a defensive end that people are maybe just turning in and didn't quite hear. He signed on with committed to the University of Toronto Blues.
I think the Vancouver Canucks got away with a hold on that last one with Velasquez. He was all over.
So 2 possessions in a row here. Vancouver College just looking to run a block-to-block screen, a big to small, and they're getting good looks underneath. So we'll see how Coach De Silva is going to maybe make an adjustment there. But I'll bet you that Vancouver College continues to go to the well. So we'll look for that their next possession down the floor.
That was their third touch, paint touch basket for them. So I think that's what their biggest adjustment coming out of half is that.
He's going to dribble at him. He's going to come through here looking for the opposing. Mikey Joseph flashing high, just reading the defense to get the ball. I did speak with, not necessarily speak, but through email correspondence with Coach Mergetti, asked her a little bit about her coaching style and how she likes to handle things during the game. And she said to me that she really just likes to let her players play. So she's given them the tools, and now they get to execute.
Yeah, they can't allow that. Did you see how he switched up from his right hand to his inside finish? I mean, that's a tough look. He makes it look easy, but that's not an easy shot at all.
Oh, let me tell you, he makes it look easy. His body control is something else. As a grade 11, he's got a big career ahead of him. And as we said before, that's the spot where Highland likes that ball. And he's had open look there after open look.
That was a great find by Isaac. And Isaac is starting to realize that his ability to get into the paint. Oh, that's a questionable. Isaac's ability to get into the paint is going to draw so much attention. And I think if these guys find a window in the open spot, they're going to get a ton of open threes.
That's Blake Wardell's third foul. So coming into the game to replace him will be Hayden Rogers. So obviously that changes the lineup a little bit in terms of size. But they'll make the adjustment. Right now, St. George's up 19.
We're 30 seconds away from the 5-minute mark, and it looks like St. George's has turned it up a little bit in that very crucial part of the game. So we'll see what that yields.
Into the game for Vancouver College, number 14, Thomas Mangiani.
There's Tisdale with that defense that we were talking about earlier on.
I'm quite pleased with his game tonight. I think he's brought a lot to the Irish tonight that we didn't see in the last game. I don't know how many minutes he really got that last game, but he's been effective for them. And going to the line again is going to be Isaac Brown.
Yeah, he's just too much for them to handle. And they've had 3 different guys try to contain him without success. And again, he's ambidextrous. He uses his left hand, his right hand, finishes in traffic, finishes over you. Having a heck of a game tonight.
For those that tuned in late, Isaac Brown had 20 points in the first half, and he's put a few on the board here in the second half. So last year in this game, Isaac Brown put up 28 points, and there's another steal. So he's doing it at both ends of the court. For round one, looking for some penetration.
That's tough.
Coleman.
That's tough. That's tough.
Coleman is looking very confident out there right now.
I'll tell you what, his mid-range game, ability to stop and pop and shake his man, get him off balance and pull is pretty strong right now. And again, he's a two-way player. He rebounds for him, and he doesn't play out of his comfort zone.
And another board. Steal, board. What more is he going to do for the Saints tonight? Reinforcements coming in for the Saints. Number 21 going to check in, Kevin Jong. And number 4, Charlie McConville. Vancouver College continuing to push. Velasquez need the buckets.
Oh, they're allowing the count. There you go. Good. That's a smart play by Will. He knew he had him on the hip, out of position, and he just continued to ride him.
Yeah, we'll see here on the replay how he leaned into him quite nicely. Just getting down, obviously probably a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Referees, again, doing a nice job tonight.
Yeah, they've got that right balance of allowing them to play, but also keeping the game under control so it doesn't get out of hand.
You know, I would be remiss tonight if I didn't talk about my Bulldogs from Gonzaga. They're playing BYU tonight, but those that follow the team will know that Loyola Marymount ended their 77-game home win streak. Loyola hadn't beaten them at home in 31 years.
Oh, wow. Great D, great D by Will Holland as Isaiah Bias penetrated in transition. And I'll tell you what, he's not an easy guy to block like that because he's such a phenomenal athlete. Look at this take, finish, and that's all ball.
So for VC here, how are we going to get ourselves back in the game right now? We're down 19. Oh, sorry. Down 21. What does VC need to do here? Do they just got to try to get this game, maybe double digits, get it down to 12, see what they can do in the fourth quarter?
You know, Paul, I think they just flat out, they got to get some stops. I mean, it's 67 right now, and there's 3 minutes left in this third quarter. They just can't seem to keep them out of the paint, and in transition, they're capitalizing on those turnovers. So they got to minimize their turnovers. They got to make sure that they keep them out of the paint, and they got to score some buckets. I mean, they're at 46. They're in a bit of a drought right now.
Got 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Oh, he got away with a little bit of hook there.
I think if anybody's going to get them back in the game, I'm going to say it's going to be Isaiah Bias is going to have to get real hot, real fast. Playing quite aggressive on D. He's got to be careful, though, that he doesn't pick up his third.
That's tough. You know what? That was actually pretty good defense by Isaiah, but it was just a better shot by Isaac Brown.
You definitely called that right. You can't really ask much more than that. You got to tip your hat to the guy in offense and tip your hat to the guy in defense.
I will say St. George is doing a great job in minimizing the second shot opportunities by Vancouver College. They get one shot and then they're gone. Great job. Will's taking a bit of a breather right now, and I think coming in for Will, we've got Kevin
Jong into the game. Blake Wardell also out of the game. ISO getting a bit of a break.
great substitution with 2 minutes left in this third quarter.
You can see that Hayden Rogers slipped on the floor. Again, I don't see that there is condensation here, but hopefully we're not going to see any more of that.
Well, I don't know if that was a condensation issue or it was just such a great move. What did they say? He kind of broke his ankles a little bit.
Okay, nice board for Charlie. They're looking to advance the ball. Coach De Silva asking the team to push the ball.
You know, Vancouver College is now getting themselves in some foul trouble again. They're going to be in bonus with just under 2 minutes left in this third quarter. Not something that they want to get into. They don't need to be giving them easy points from the free throw line.
Not only that, gives Saints a chance to rest to play D. Mikey Joseph picked up his third foul. Vancouver College.
Okay. St. George is keeping the pressure on, which is great. They want a fast-paced tempo.
There we go, Blake Wardell. That's going to be his fourth. We'll see if Coach De Silva, sorry, my correction, that's only his third foul.
Okay.
ISO going back in the game. Likely for Blake Wardell. Okay, looking to come back in then for Vancouver College. Number 2, Finn Tinsdale. And for the Saints, number 13, ISO. Okay, Velasquez out of the game and Wardell out for St. George's.
As we get a little bit closer into towards the end of the game, they're going to need to start knocking down a few three balls again if they're going to get back into this game.
Well, a little cross-court pass. Hayden had his hands on Hayden Rogers. And again, Isaiah's really doing a good job of getting to the basket and also getting to the line at the same time.
Yeah, he's tough off the bounce. Once he gets going, he's very shifty. And he's a phenomenal athlete, so once he gets into that paint, he can elevate over guys. His game, to a certain extent, is similar to Isaac's, would you say, in terms of their ability to get to the rack?
Absolutely, very similar.
They're asking him to do a lot tonight, of course, playing on both ends, particularly at the tempo that he plays at. Be interesting to see if he can keep up this pace throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah, minute 34 to go here in the third quarter. Saints up 22. Pretty commanding lead at this point. We don't see a lot changing at the moment.
There's that little run and gut right before he puts the ball on the ground. Oh, they called him. They called him with it. But I think that was the second travel. They missed that first one where he got it in transition. And I think part of it is because he's so quick. Unless you're looking for it, you might miss it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Really good point. I think, and that's why it probably hasn't been called. He is so quick. The referees just don't pick up on that.
Yeah. There he goes again. I mean, he plays 100 miles a minute.
That's what they need. They're down 20. I think De Silva's going to want them to slow it down here, hopefully. Work the clock a little bit here. Another turnover.
There he goes.
That would have been a big basket right there for the Irish. Give them some energy. And now transition.
How strong of a move was that? Are you kidding me?
His ability to stay in the air, hold, and finish.
Are you kidding me, ISO? I mean, he had two guys bounce right off of him on that one. Coach Silva calling, oh, not a smart foul.
Go.
Not when you're shooting bonus and not when there's 16 seconds left in the quarter.
And they're probably not going to score from center either.
No, exactly.
So once again, for those viewers that maybe tuned in a little bit late, VC won the first game between these two teams, 76-73. And the way this works in the Independent League for the berth to the Sea to Sky, the number one team, it is going to come down to points differential if they both split. So Saints has to win by 4, and obviously right now with a 24-point lead, they're looking to be in good position. Last night, Kitsilano beat Churchill 82-62 in the city final. Both those teams will be going to the Sea to Sky Zone Championship as well.
Ready? Go help, Bill. Go help, Bill. Double that. Double that. Double that. Double that. Double that.
Good job. You know, one of the things that's clearly evident with their game plan, Guy De Silva has asked these guys to double team every ball screen and dribble handoff, and it's disrupted them, taken them out of their rhythm. And you just heard him at the end of that last shot possession. As soon as they were coming off of that handoff, he was like double-double. And good job in managing that part of the game.
Yeah, so the key really is for Vancouver College to be able to spot the open man and get out of the, don't allow that to happen, dribble out, or make that pass. Okay, I just, my stats guys have told me that Isaac Brown has 27 points, leading all scorers in this game.
Oh, fabulous job. I don't know if there is an answer for him tonight. He's playing on another level, to be honest with you. I mean, he's doing it all. He's not just scoring. He must have at least 5 or 6 steals. I'm going to look for that at the end of the game. But he's finding his teammates when they're open, and he's rebounding. So I think a full, complete game is what we're seeing from ISO. And, you know, the scary thing about it is that he is an 11th grader. He's got another year to get back to this, along with the number of players in 11th grade on this team. So this St. George's team is going to be quite formidable, not just throughout the course of this season, but also coming next year. It's quite exciting.
Yeah, I really like what you said about playing the complete game. And it looks like he's really playing within himself and letting the game come to him. Obviously making plays, but at the same time, not trying to do too much. Highlands like that spot this game. Wasn't able to get it to drop there, but he's hit a few threes from there and a little turnover there by the Irish. Start the fourth quarter. Down 24 right now.
That's a great find by Dominic Aquino. Well done. And a great steal prior to that by him. He's had one of those quiet games for him. Now, Aiden Lear's got to step up a little bit. He's been pretty quiet this entire game, and if they're going to ever get a chance to get back into it, he's got to knock down some 3 balls and produce for his team on the offensive end.
Isaiah Bias on the bench to start the fourth quarter for the Irish, so you'll wonder what semblance of organization, who their field general is going to be out there on the court. Tisdale's quarterback on the football field, but I don't know if he has the same cachet necessarily on the basketball court when it comes to being a field general.
Look at the composure of Dominic right here with the ball. So comfortable with the basketball.
He's done a nice job of spotting the open man tonight. And that's really, Highland really has a wonderful ability to get to the hoop and then be able to finish almost those scoop shots as he's able to finish nicely.
Look at that, 1 shot per possession.
Ooh. Oh, now that was quite the contact. We'll maybe get to see that one again on video here. But there's a few football guys going for it, and I'm glad that Coleman jumped in there fearlessly for that ball. Let's take a look here. And we had a collision there, wow.
And they called Thomas Mangani with that foul, interesting.
Yeah, No. Sorry, looks like they may have. There's a bit of yelling here going on at the bench here, trying to figure out who that was on.
I think they called a foul.
The scores table has it as Coleman.
Oh, did they give it to
Score
Josh?
sheet.
Okay.
So that's 4 on him. Okay, Josh Coleman out of the game with 4 fouls. Saints up by 26. So Isaiah has 4 fouls coming back into the game. So they're going to have to see. They don't really have another option. They got to bring him in now.
Yeah, they don't at all. And that was a great shot by Freddie Sale, by the way, inside. I have a feeling if they use him inside a little bit more, they might get some productivity. Everything right now is on the perimeter. That's a nice find. Kevin Zong's been great for him off the bench today, hasn't he?
Yeah, especially obviously on the with the board, and there's a little bit of a take. I think coach is not going to be too disappointed with that attack of the basket, but I think what Kevin's real role is just get out there, play some D, get a board here, get a board there. Any offense is going to be gravy for him. So who's come back in the game here? I guess Charlie McConville back in the game for Blake Wardell, number 10. Blake's also has 4 fouls.
Freddie Sales picked up his energy on both ends. You can see he's a little bit more aggressive inside. They're looking for him a little bit more so, and they're going to need that. But again, they need some productivity on the offensive end. They're still at 53, and it is a 24-point game. And they don't need to be doing that, do they, Paul? Do you think they need to give St. George's more possessions right now?
Absolutely not. Good hard take, just not the finish.
That's his shot. He's got to knock those down.
At this point, it's hard because they're probably pressing a little bit from the BC perspective. They know they've got to hit shots.
Yep.
And whereas Saints right now up 24, they're probably playing a little more loose, not feeling it the same way. And able to come in, step in, shoot that ball.
Dominic Aquino is everywhere tonight. I mean, he does such a great job in finding his teammates and making them better and making the right decisions.
You can see what he did there. He saw that double team coming, picked the ball up right away, got it into Iso's hands.
All right, now everything's under calm. Don't you feel a sense of relaxation when Dominic has the ball in his hands? There's a sense of calm, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm sure Coach De Silva feels the same way. A little double bicep flex there by Dom Aquino. You can see he just waited.
You know what's really cool to see with that is coming up. Watch the expression on his face and watch that double clutch, what do you call it, bicep flex. Look at that, here it comes. Oh. But you know what? He's an individual that doesn't show a lot of emotion on the court. So when you see that, you know he is dialed in 100% ready to go.
Yeah, and you saw that out of Velasquez at the last game in terms of the energy and the expression and the emotion. And sitting here watching this game, how can you not just be happy for these guys in terms of being out here, having the opportunity to play in this environment?
Great steal by Dominic on Isaiah Bias, which is not an easy thing to do.
So now they're looking to be a little more aggressive here, and these traps are coming high. They've got to do something. Obviously, it's a bit more high risk, but they can make something happen. They're down 17. What's worked so far hasn't really worked, so they've got to do something differently.
Yeah, they're playing desperation basketball right now, and they've got to create something when they're on defense. They got to get some turnovers, and they got to capitalize on the offensive end. But you know what's not working for them? They're not hitting the 3-ball. They're not, and most of their shots are contested. And you got to give credit to St. George's. They've done a wonderful job in contesting their perimeter games and keeping them out of the paint. Any basket they score is a tough basket. I don't know if the fans can see the energy right now in this gym, but it's absolutely electric. And like you mentioned earlier on, these guys were prepping for this all week. They got their chance together. They're ready to go. And they remember what happened in that last gym, in that last game. And it was close. I mean, with 14 seconds left in the game, a 1-point game, St. George's had the ball, and they turned it over. And they're still thinking about that. So I think tonight couldn't have come any faster for the St. George's school.
Yeah, we talked about how special this is for the grade 12s, and this is special for the fans, remembering being able to watch the game at home, have your team play well, be able to cheer for them. Fabulous, fabulous stuff. It's a foul on Hayden Rogers.
I think that's their third foul of the quarter, so they're good. They're good. But you can see how Vancouver College is struggling to score, huh? Nothing easy at all. There's not an easy look at the basket. Look at that. All right, contested.
Yeah, as we said earlier at the top of the broadcast, St. George's is giving up 67 points on average this season. And I know Coach De Silva definitely takes pride in how his team plays defense. And nevertheless, he's looking to make some adjustment here. He's called a timeout. 5:52 to go in the fourth quarter.
You know, that's a great timeout, by the way, to settle his team down and let them know, hey, look, we need to take intelligent shots. I think Will was hoping to get a little bit of break so he can dunk the basketball and get the crowd even more excited.
Yeah, you know, maybe while we have this chance in a stoppage and play, just, you know, a thank you to SportsCanada.TV and their production crew. Leanne Evans is working the production tonight. Obviously, Choi Brown, the man behind this broadcast, and also the company itself. As a matter of fact, their fun little fact, in March of 2005, their first high school basketball game that they broadcast in Canada happened to be the VC Saints championship game, when Emerson Murray, who is in the crowd tonight, and sitting beside me was the coach, where Saints won that game at the buzzer.
Special moment, my friend, special moment. And as I look across and I see Emerson here, it brings back a lot of great memories.
VC looking for their elusive championship. They have not won since 1967, so they've had a number of top four finishes, and they want to get back there. And this will not be the last that you have heard of Vancouver College tonight, that's for sure.
Not at all. And you know who's sitting on the bench right now? Macau, along with Rocco, watching this game, feeling the energy. And you better believe that next time these two teams square up, it is going to be a hotly contested match. Again, like we talked about at the top of this game, you're looking at 50 points left off the scoreboard with those two guys not being in the game. And Rocco's presence inside is a tough one. So it's going to be interesting. But hey, we're in the moment right now, and we've got a game right now, and I'm seeing two teams giving it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good energy here on the floor right now, that's for sure. VC is not giving up by any means. Keep working hard. Nice to see Hayden Rogers get on the score sheet.
You know, what you're seeing right now, too, with VC in the hecticness trying to get back into this game is a lot of one-on-one basketball. There's no semblance of ball movement or any real sets that they're trying to do. And, you know, I'm not sure if how Coach feels about that, but certainly there hasn't been anything other than that for the last 5 minutes. It's tough to get back in the game like that because St. George's does a wonderful job in the half court, and any penetration on the perimeter is going to be met by a second line of defense that's ready to go.
And that definitely wears you down physically as well, and it doesn't come easy like that.
I'll tell you what, at the end of this game, Isaiah Bice will be fatigued. I mean, he's put up, you were to clock the amount of mileage he put on in today's game, he'll certainly be up there.
They're going to look to trap again. Stepped out of bounds, they got it.
You wouldn't know that we're almost looking at a 30-point game, given the intensity in this game right to the end, huh?
That's a really good observation. And that just says a little bit about Vancouver College and what they represent and the culture of their program. Winning is definitely part of their culture. And last year, their grade 8s, their grade 9s, and their JVs all won provincial championships. So that tells you something, that they know how to win. That being said, Guy De Silva's teams, they play hard, they play for him, and they will go right to the end as well.
Normally when you're up 24 points, you start thinking about getting subs in with about 4 minutes left, but there's just an energy in this gym right now where it is not a comfortable 24, which is odd to say, right? I mean, look at this.
Well, slipped on the floor again. He might have hurt his ankle there. ISO might need to come off. I don't know if coach recognizes that ISO's hurt.
So now we're looking at 19 points with 4 minutes left in the game.
And you can see the cameraman taking a look, watching ISO walk down there, getting a look on his face. We might.
That's a big free throw. They are just they're not giving up, huh?
Nope. Looking to trap, keeping the energy high. 4 minutes to go. I think Coach De Silva recognizes that things have changed ever so slightly in the game. Couple turnovers, looking a little bit more less comfortable on the floor, stalling a little bit that trap. Full court now we're seeing from Vancouver College, giving them some difficulty. So as you said before, most teams, most games, most coaches at this point with this kind of lead, they kind of feel that this game is in the bag or maybe in the refrigerator, which we might talk about later. But it's not that way, which you allude to. You can actually palpate it. You can feel it in this gym that this game is not actually over.
No, it's not. It's not. And with the number of guys out there that can knock down a 3-ball, it changes things real quick. Coming out of this timeout, what's Guy telling his team right now? He's telling them, look, let's take the shots that we want to take. Let's take care of the basketball, and let's keep minimizing the second and third shot opportunities. If they do that, there isn't enough time. So they got to be really disciplined with that matter. They don't need to push it and rush anything. They need to play at the pace that they want to play at. Of course, we know what Vancouver College is trying to do. They need to get some quick buckets. They need to stir it up on the defensive end, and that's exactly what they're going to continue to do because it's been working the last minute and a half.
And that's what Coach De Silva has said all along. He's very confident with his group, and he knows that they have to play their game, and that's exactly what he's told them, as you said, probably in that timeout.
See, it's all one-on-one basketball. See what I'm saying? They need to do, if they're going to get into it, they got to do something to get some intentional shots.
Yeah, and I think they're almost, in a sense, settling for that 3. That might be the straw that broke the camel's back right there.
Man, that was quick. His ability to explode and put into another gear is pretty impressive. Speaking of which, so is this guy, huh? Look at that.
Wow. Hop, settle, gather. Hop, settle, gather, and finish. He's definitely in the 30-point range this game. He is wincing a little bit there, wondering how his ankle is doing.
There you go. He was trying to draw another charge on that.
No call.
No call.
nice little ball fake, dribble around, hit the open shot. I thought that Charlie McConville's really played within himself tonight quite nicely.
He's played very, very well. I mean, he hasn't forced anything. He's taken the shots when they were there. I think early in the game, too, he knocked down a couple of threes, which was quite important. Isaiah back on the line again. Look, when you're that aggressive and you play that hard, you're going to get to the free throw line a lot. And I'd love to know at the end of the game how many times he's been to that stripe. Again, typically you got 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game and you're up 21, and it just does not feel safe.
No, but I think we're getting close to that point in the game where we might hear from Chick Hearn on his famous line that we have. And here we go.
Yeah,
this is the sign. They're coming in. Oh, now we don't want anybody to get hurt. Took a shot on the head. Coach De Silva's got to be wary of that. He doesn't want anybody getting hurt right now. But as we said before, Izo, tough as nails, tweaked his ankle. We'll see what happens here on the replay. What sort of shot? Oh,
yeah, he got hit. I'm glad he didn't hurt himself on that fall. You saw how his legs kind of twisted on that. You're right. You know, I would get him after he hits these free throws. I would get him out in a hurry.
Yeah, let's. So into the game, number 12, Lucas Butler. Bill Jang also in the game, number 2. Luke Sebastian, number 14.
There goes the locomotive. That's a travel. They didn't call it, though. Keep doing it till they call it, huh?
Absolutely. Now things are getting a little bit sloppy here. Okay, checking out of the game. Izo, what a game for him. Congratulations, my friend. He should be very proud of how he played tonight for sure.
You know, interesting enough, Van College have their starters or their top players in the game right until the end. You know, there's a minute 27 seconds left. They're up 20.
What is the coach thinking?
I don't know. At this time of the year, you want to make sure that your players are healthy and ready to go in postseason play.
All right, the scores table told me that Isaac finished the game with 30 points. Quite a statement. He likes this gym. He likes the crowd. He loves the feel. I think he's obviously been the key for this team all season.
But big players make big plays in big games. And Isaac Brown, ISO, he's a big-time player. He's got more to come. We'll see.
I hear your music. I hear your music.
Hey, he's got much more to come.
Let's hope nobody does get hurt, though, to finish off the game here. Things are a little bit out of reach at this point with a minute to go. And he's going to go to the line, Isaiah Bias, again. But for those basketball fans that have been fans for many years and maybe a little older than I would know Chick Hearn.
Bring it, my man.
He used to call the Laker games And at this point of the juncture, he would say that this game is in the refrigerator. The door is closed. The lights are out. The eggs are cooling. The butter is getting hard. And the Jell-O is jiggling.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. Every year I wait for this. I wait for Chick Hearns and your rendition of.
Well, let me tell you, Brian, it's been a real pleasure doing this broadcast with you. I think you definitely, I hope you don't have a sore back because you've been carrying me the whole way tonight. But I definitely appreciate your knowledge and your insight. I know you've coached a number of these guys, and obviously you've got a real vested interest in this basketball season, especially with that Semiahmoo Totems team. And maybe I might even see your son and one of his players in the stands tonight, one of his teammates.
Yeah, they're here checking out the game because they know these two teams out here are amongst the best in the province, and they're going to see them at some point come playoff time. So that, and let me tell you a little something. I've been taking these kids to these games, even when these guys were in the 5th grade, 4th grade, taking them to these games. Mikhail Malibuk, for example, I coached him since he's been in the 4th grade. He played for Nap Santos and the Dream Hoops program, an amazing program for kids. And I started coaching him when he was in 4th grade. And I remember taking him to a St. George's game as a young kid to watch. And here he is playing. I can tell you a ton of stories of these young kids, and I feel blessed to have the opportunity to coach them in the community and watch them come to their respective schools and be leaders in their respective teams. So it's a pretty special moment.
We got Luke Sebastian on the line here. Technical foul. I think there was some dispute here on the number of foul calls. Thinking that Chuck Menard maybe had 5, but I think they only had him down for 4.
Well, you can see how this game can easily get out of hand with the energy, right? Like Chuck Menard, he's not afraid to mix it up a little bit. You just want everyone to play with cooler heads and keep the spirit of this game the way it's intended. It's been great so far. We wanted to finish as such.
Looked like Luke Sebastian got hit on the play. He's kind of limping. Things are getting physical here to finish.
But you know, I'm looking at this, and Vancouver College has their starters in the game. They're down. It's getting kind of testy.
Yeah, I would. I don't know, if I was Coach De Silva, I might think that I might want to get my guys out of the game here. I don't know if he's too happy with the physicality right now.
No, I don't think so either.
And that's what can happen when games are out of reach. Sometimes things get a little bit out of control here.
Well, Saints has clearly kind of emptied their bench, if you will. Dominic being the only starter that's currently on the court. So the score might actually, certainly is not indicative of how close how much St. George's has controlled this game, right?
No, they've done a real nice job. Another knee coming out there on a foul. Not sure if we'll take a look. That's 5 fouls on Isaias Bias. Again, it looks like Coach De Silva's kind of eyeing up the official, maybe wanting to have a conversation, but
yeah, he's not happy right now. I think he's looking at his players on the court and the fact that they've emptied their bench and Vancouver College hasn't emptied their bench and is getting a little physical, right? But it does speak to this. The competitiveness between these schools and these teams is as high as you're going to find in high school basketball. And they're going to go right until the end.
Oh, there we go. St. George's fans storm the court. Story of the game is going to be Isaac Brown with 30 points. Saints wins by 24. We've been fortunate to have wonderful play tonight. It's been a pleasure calling the game with you. Thank you to all the Saints athletic staff for putting this together. SportsCanada.TV for for all they do to put together a professional production. Brian Lee, I'm going to let you sign off.
All right, my man. Well, hey, it's been a pleasure working with you as usual, especially when we've got this environment to watch. St. George's brought it, but I'll tell you, we both know that this next matchup is going to be pretty special. So to everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and all the best till next time.